Well, good day. Derby Jack here. Today, here in Heath, Ohio, it's raining. Chemtrail rain. All over the place. Now, as you see, I got these glasses. I really don't need them except for reading right now. I don't need anything here because I can't read out of this eye. I can read out of this if I had this. But I'll be getting all that taken care of because this eye's next for a new lens. So anyway, and then I'll have reading glasses made later. Anyway, I want to read this, and it has to do with the eyes. What you listen to this, and especially the later part. 18, Isaiah 29:18. And in that day shall deaf hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness, and the meek also shall increase their joy with the Lord. Anyway, this caught my eye because obscurity, or as I like to say, those things that are, to me, are in the way. The reality that is obscure to me are the things that I really never realized I couldn't see. Do you know that since I've had this cataract surgery in this one eye, I knew that my vision had been bad, and this one basically is behind it, but it still had good vision. I could drive and still, and all that. But one thing I didn't realize is what I wasn't seeing, even though this one was all blurry, and this one just wasn't doing what it needed to do. This one was carrying, this one's basically on the side, and this one's doing all the work, and it had to see the best of its ability. But what was going on that I didn't notice with this eye was everything was starting to become obscure, starting to become dark. Like the word would talk about, looking through a darkened lens, and that's what the cataracts are. They can get so bad if you let them go, they can just, where you don't see nothing. I'm seeing 2 or 3, 4, not now, but then I got clear. I'm seeing them, Anyway, but what I noticed that I didn't notice that I didn't know was that now that I could see out of this eye, I seen colors so bright that I never noticed that the brightness of those colors were going away in my spectrum, because this one now was so blurred. This one was just out. So this one is starting to fade, and it's starting to get cloudy. It's still in the beginning stages, but everything is darkening, and you never knew it until now. I'm looking out this eye, and I see this bright vitality of colors. You see what I'm saying? It's coming from the darkness into the light. And it's a very good description, and I think that for what I've had to go through, it's a very good description of what you don't see when you really are looking out of different frame of mind, especially when you're looking out of a mind that has been filled with a lot of jargon, a lot of misinterpretation, a lot of misinformation. And I'm talking mainstream. I'm talking since the time you were at your birth and you grew up and you went to school and you were indoctrinated in so many different ways. I don't need these anymore. And you're indoctrinated in so many different ways now. And now your mind, like your eyes, are starting to get cloudy. and you're filled with all kinds of stuff, science and mathematics and social and what's going on in culture and politics and business and work and family and what is expected of you and what isn't, and your life becomes cloudy. And it gets so cloudy that where you don't see, just like me, not realizing that your cloudiness is taking away the color, taking away the life that you normally would see because of color. Do you know that we are creatures created by God, that all our senses keep us alive, along with a beating heart and blood and having a life force in us? But when you are seeing and smelling the roses and seeing the colors, you are seeing a spectrum of life that was given to you to see and to smell in its fullness, in its glory. You were given that because God created it for you. And we have been allowing everything that God has been created for us being taken away. They're taking away the colors. They're taking away the real color of the sky. I didn't do that. And now that I see my eyes, I still don't see the blue I should. But that's not my fault. That's not my eyes now see. I will get this one done, and now this one will have the same spectrum as this one. This is my old eye. Do you not understand where I'm going here? This is the old man eye. The old man eye is going to be updated with the spiritual representation of the eye, a new lens to see the world. A new lens to pick up the spectrum of color. A new lens to see the truth of what's going on around you. You know, we lose a lot of what we should be able to see when we don't see the colors properly. When you don't hear the words properly. When you don't sense and you're not getting the right message properly. It can cloud your day. It can cloud your judgment. We must walk out of our houses on a day-to-day basis. If you go to work in the morning, whatever you do, you go out and is that you must be ready to have your eyes open spiritually. Ready to receive whatever God and or whatever Satan is going to throw at you. So when you're out there, you're ready to receive physically, spiritually, and mentally, and physically where you're able to see. You're seeing the colors. You're seeing by judgment. You're recognizing the whole spectrum of things in your mind. That's what it's about. So recognize what I'm dealing with here. This is the eye of the old man. It is going to go away fully. It will now be renewed to be as this eye is, a renewed spectrum of life, a renewed spectrum of purpose, a renewed spectrum of color, a renewed spectrum of what it means to be a child of God. Listen, folks, time is running out. The beast is loose, okay? And we must be ready, and you must be strong not to fall for the beast system, and be ready to say no when they say you must. Dear Christian, this is where the spectrum, this is where you have to take the blinders off. This is where you need to see the full color. This is where you need to mentally open your mind up to what is coming. and be ready for it. Because it's coming a lot quicker than a lot of people expect. Now, I'm going to say one thing to end my little sermon here. This guy, I've listened to him, this guy who's supposed to be the Antichrist, who says he isn't the Antichrist. I've heard his speech. I've been listening to all the people, but I prayed about it, and in my spirit of Christ, I have to tell you something. My spirit and me both agree. This guy's a blowhard. He's about nothing, and it's just a deterrent. I just don't believe in him. I think he's an idiot. I personally think that somebody needs to investigate. He speaks too much good English, okay? He may be over there in the UK, but he speaks English very well. He looks like he could have been a football player here in America. He looks like he probably graduated Yale or something like that. He's a good old 33-degree boy. He's not the Savior's messenger, okay? So he's a false image. He is a false prophet. No, he was never sent by Christ. He's not Christ. No. And here's another thing. Even if he was a legit, why would he say he is the original Pope? Because Pope and the Vatican and Catholicism are about Lucifer, not about God. So if he's saying all that, he don't even have his theology right. So for you people that need to understand, you better know what you know. If you know your own foundation, do you know your biblical foundation? Do you know your own theology? Do you go to church? Do you know the church theology? They have a tenet. Well, usually when you go to a church, they should have a little book of tenet or a little list of what they believe. Now, not every Baptist church believes the exact same thing. They have their own little tendencies. That's what they call them, little tenets. So anyway, you are going to have to make some decisions to open up your eyes spiritually. I'm telling you, man, when you're seeing colors for what they really are, it's a very, very good analogy to know the difference between what's old and what's new, what's wrong and what's right, what's dark and what's light. You see what I'm saying? There's your analogy. And I kind of wish y'all could see it the way I see it, because now I can't wait until this is like this. I love y'all. Derby Jack out. Hope to see you all on the other side.